Many things come off wrong in this scenario. This puts both of our characters in an uncomfortable position. Without further ado, let's dive into it. In this situation, the individuals use a strategic self-presentation. It's the most popular self-presentation in impersonal relations and/or communications. Also explained in the first study case, the impersonal communication concept makes a comeback. As we do not want to repeat ourselves, we'll go over this one rather quickly.
In this situation, both characters have roles to play, being the customer and the employee. Each individual must respect certain rules in order to function properly in our society. However, nothing binds them to it. Sure, it isn't well perceived by others, but deviances do happen sometimes. Most of the time, they are created by some sort of conflict. In this case, this is a simple conflict. This is defined by a problem in which the relation tying the people in the communication is little, if any, important. After all, both characters will probably never see each other after this incident, and if they do, they might not even remember each other. This is how very few they care about each other.
The conflict is also destructive. Since both parties do not have trust in each other and it doesn't have a satisfying end. The lack of interest into keeping a healthy relationship and the lack of interest in your own goals are the reasons why the conflict ended that way. The customer was avoiding the confrontation. In situations similar to this one, there are many ways to resolve the conflict. The usage of those techniques is called conflict management. Different conflict management styles are used depending on the nature of the conflict and the goals of those involved. The techniques used will alter the relationship between the two people for the better or for the worst, as everyone reacts differently to them, especially when it is influenced by many other factors. The first one noticeable is accommodation. The customer wanted to avoid confrontation since they didn't think it was necessary, as they will never see each other again. Sacrificing their own needs so the conversation continues normally and as usual with the employee to maintain harmony would be the safest option in their opinion. Those last three words are very important, as it is not the optimal solution. The customer also used avoidance in this case. The second time the customer noticed that the employee was lying, they just completely didn't bring it up. He decided to ignore the source of a potential conflict to prevent tension or discomfort between both parties. Again, such behavior is not necessarily recommended. Not bringing up the problem can give an advantage to the competitor as they continue what brings annoyance to an individual.
People need to be more cautious using this approach, as it can fairly be hurtful to the victim of avoidance, as they may want to maintain a relationship. You are not the only one in a conflict. It is important to care about the others too in an intimate relationship. Fortunately, these two people don't seem to want to maintain a friendship, so the damage wasn't exorbitant. On the other side, the salesmen use a competitive approach. This is defined when a party pursues their goals at the expense of the other. It involves asserting one's own position and try to win the conflict. This one puts more emphasis on the reward to an individual rather than a collective effort. However, they both use wrong conflict management styles. The customer put their needs aside to avoid the conflict, which is not recommended because he isn't satisfied in a place where help is needed. And the employee put his need in his top priorities in a place where he needs to put the client sales needs as his goal. They should have used a collaborative approach. Collaboration involves a cooperative effort where both parties work together to find a solution that satisfies the interests of everyone involved.
It often requires an open communication, active listening, and a focus on win-win outcomes. This approach would have allowed both parties to actually get what they are looking for in this interaction. By being honest, the employee could have made a profit while having a bond of trust with his customer, while the customer could have been served properly and purchased the product that will be most useful to them. However, the communication explained in episode 2.1 severely lacks trust, which prevents them to work together. In this situation, the salesman used a fake trust. In order to convince the customers, the employee had to use a strategic presentation, promoting yourself, or in this situation, something in his grasp, the iPad Air. He wanted to bring himself respect and trust. He did so while talking so greatly about the more expensive model and very poorly about the base model, ensuring the clients would buy the Air version. He would then give off a presentation about who's trustworthy, competent, and efficient at his job, securing a place in their heart. He chose to present himself that way due to the cost versus benefit concept. That is defined by your own beliefs and goals against whoever's you're communicating with. Since the employee completely did not care about his clientele, it was obvious to him to use this strategy. However, that completely backfired. In fact, he did not make the sale he expected and didn't satisfy the clientele's needs.
On another note, the bad customer service can affect the company itself. In the case where it's a big empire like Apple, consequences are more likely to have zero or fewer impacts on the company. Nonetheless, even if Apple is generally known for its strong commitment to customer service and user experience, it is not immune to the potential impact of poor customer service. There is just fewer chance that a situation like the one in episode 2.1 will negatively affect the reputation of this global company. On the other hand, smaller or more fragile companies can be directly affected by poor customer service. Indeed, dissatisfied customers are less likely to return to the store. They may choose to go to the competition where they feel better treated, and they also tend to share their negative experiences with those around them, whether in person, on social media, or via online reviews. This can harm the reputation of the store. The consumers that aren't satisfied by a company's staff members are less likely to make an additional purchase or spend more in the store. Quality customer service is often associated with increased sales because satisfied customers are more likely to recommend additional product and service. It goes in the same way. Good customer service is often essential to establish and maintain customers' loyalty. When customers don't feel well treated, they are less likely to stay loyal to a brand. Employees who are often confronted with unhappy customers may see their motivation diminish. A negative work environment can impact productivity and job satisfaction, which in return can affect customer service. It's like a vicious circle.
It is crucial for businesses to recognize the importance of customer service and put measures in place to improve it to ensure customer satisfaction and long-term business success. On another point, capitalism can also have a significant impact on customer service, fostering competition, innovation, and customer-centering approaches. However, the profit motive and market forces can also create challenges, leading to some companies to compromise on customer service to cut costs. The overall influence depends on how businesses navigate the competitive landscape and balance the pursuit of profit with a commitment to customer satisfaction.
Finally, this can be a solution to effective customer service. These are 10 steps to follow for a company or an employee. 1. Know your product. 2. Maintain a positive attitude. 3. Creatively problem solve. 4. Respond quickly. 5. Personalize your service. 6. Help customers help themselves. 7. Focus on the customer. 8. Actively listen. 9. Keep your word. And 10. Be proactively helpful. These steps are suggestions that can help your company or your employees to be more effective and that to satisfy the customer's need and the clientele at the same time.